So, hello everyone. My name is Sanjay, and today I'll be giving you the basics about the FortiGate firewall. So, this is our first class, and we were going ahead. So, very first thing about me, I have around 12 years of experience, including networking and network security, as well as in cybersecurity. So, here we will be focusing on the FortiGate firewall that comes as our network security. So in the network security, we have like different vendors and different firewalls, so those are included. And here we will just focus on the FortiGate firewall. So it is like very imperative that why we should focus on the FortiGate firewall, right? But before I start and proceed it further, I want to tell you that it needs some basic networking, that you must have some basic knowledge of the networking, because if you are not good in the networking, then it is going to tough for you, that how you can proceed. So I hope everybody is good in the networking. Either anyone can speak or just put on the chat, type on the chat. Anything is fine. That are you having some basic introduction? Type yes if you are having. If not, basic or some level. Yes, no. Type on the chat. I don't see messages yet. Yes, okay. See some of them. Okay, so I see almost yes from everyone. Anybody is having issues that they think that it's not good, or they don't have good hands-on the networking. It's not like you should be having a CCNA certification, but yeah, basic is really important. Cool. So I think most of you are having knowledge of networking. So okay, I have already worked in the FortiGate. That's cool if you have FortiGate, but I'm sure that you will get plus in this FortiGate firewall course. So very first thing is the requirement, like the basic networking knowledge is essential. So I think some of you are already good on it, right? And if anybody is have doesn't have a good exposure, like they can go through some of the basic trainings. You can just like get in touch with our team, and they will uh, give you that. And whoever is not speaking, please be on mute so that it doesn't disturb everybody. So basic networking, everybody is having. I'm expecting that it is fine. And next thing, like we are moving towards our network security, right? So if you move towards the network security, very uh, first thing is if you see in the market, they're like different firewalls. I think Cisco is like one of the older networking. You can say the vendor, and they provided the routers and switches, as well as they provided starting like ASA, right? So Cisco ASA is one of the firewall. We also having our Palo Alto firewall, right? And FortiGate, and we also have like different vendors like Barracuda, and like you can say Versa, like there are like lot of firewalls. You can also say so post, right? So there's a lot of firewalls in the market, and the vendors are providing those firewalls. But obviously, like whenever you go in the market, you should feel that why should I focus on the FortiGate, or why should I Cisco ASA, or why not Palo Alto is not good, right? Which one is good? Which of the firewall you should learn? This is very essential. So let me tell you that whenever our partner, right, which it is basically you can say the research provider, or you can say the think tank of type of thing, they publish a report based on the surveys and ease of convenience, and which of the firewalls are being sold much, people like it. So they provide a report yearly. every year. Okay, so they are like important. So whoever is a leader there, who are a competitor, like they are doing good in the market, but they are not quite good. Like people do not like it. They are some of like still they are lagging. They are working on it, but they're not quite good on the firewall. There are some vendors on that parts. So in the leader section, if you focus on the leader section, there are like the three firewalls: the FortiGate, Palo Alto, and Checkpoint. So these do not like fixed type of thing. They keep on changing every year or based on the surveys or ease of convenience, whatever the peoples are providing. But in the recent, if you say the last 2 or 3 years, these are the market leaders in the network security, or you can see the firewall part. Okay, so it is very important that you are planning to learn the FortiGate firewall. So I should say that you are in the right track. You are following the trend. People are learning towards that one, because if you learn the technology or learn the skill which is highly demand in the by the enterprise, and this is deployed much, you have more opportunities to the grow as well as in the career path, right? So this is one of the things that why you should learn FortiGate firewall. Now, if we talk about the firewalls, right? Because some of you will be like very new to the firewalls, like you have completed our CCNA or you started a networking, and you just like what you think of like what basically the firewall is and what uh, things it will be doing, right? So even if you don't know the firewalls, you know little bit that it is something related to the security, right? It does something. You might have heard or rumors like people they used to hear. So anyone is aware of the uh, firewalls, or they are very new to the firewall section? They can just write on the chat that they know the firewalls, or beginner, like beginner level or advanced, or how they basically are. Okay, some of people are aware of it. Anyone like very new to the firewall? They can write yes, or you can say write a beginner on the chat section. Yes, I'm a beginner there. So I will be okay. Yes, some beginners are there. So I'll be starting from the scratch. So, but it's still like I want to understand that if the people are more in the beginner, I will like take that into consideration and focus more. Okay, some of you are the beginners, so I will just start from the scratch. That what basically the firewall is. Okay, so let's talk about our switch. Very basic thing, right? If you have a switch here, very basic function of the switch. There are like multiple ports, and in the switch, whenever any packet comes, right? Packet or frame? What do you say? The packet will be coming on the switch, or it will be the frame?
Frame.
Frame. That's right. So whenever we talk about the layer two, that we call it as a frame. So the it's like same thing, but the terminology is the frame. We call layer two, we call it as a frame. Whenever it comes to layer three, we call it a packet. So when we are talking about the switch, it means that we are talking about the layer two. So we'll say that any frame comes to its interface. Okay, so these are like gigabit one slash one, one slash two, one slash three. Any packet, any frame comes. Okay, so if any frame arrives here, so this like function of the switch that it will replicate, or it will send that frame to that all the ports whichever the belongs to that same VLAN. So for example, this from where it is received, they are VLAN 100, and whatever the ports will be part of the VLAN 100, it will be forwarded to those. So on the same VLAN, it will be forwarded to all the ports assigned on the VLAN 100, right? So that's what it does the our switch. This is the function, and we have like multiple VLANs. Segregation will be there, But this is the basic function of the switch. If all the ports are on the default VLAN, any packet received in any of the interface that will be forwarded to all. Let's suppose all the ports are in the default VLAN 1. So any frame received from here, it will be sent forwarded to all. That's like basic function of our switch. This works based on our MAC address table. Right? Every switch is having a MAC address table, and this is being learned that from the interface that on which the device will be connected. From that MAC address will be learned. It creates a MAC address table, looks up the MAC address table, and forward that frame was on. Next one is our router, right? This is the symbol of the router. This is layer 3 device, and it has like different networks. Here we focus on the same network, but here like the interfaces are in the different network. So for example, we have gigabit 1/1, 1/2, 1/3, right? Any packet, here we will call it as a packet because this is a layer 3 architecture, right? So any packet coming to any of the interfaces, it will be looking onto it of the routing table. It has the route entry. Is lookups of the routing table that on which interface I should forward that packet. And then the packet is being forwarded. So here we have a concept of MAC address table. In the layer 3, the packet is sent based on the routing table. So that is fine. Only difference is that we don't have any restriction. There is no restriction in any of them, right? If you want to block any of the communication that, okay, I don't want to send this packet to that, is that possible in any of them? You cannot like either if you segregate the VLAN, the complete traffic will be stopped from there. If you do not have the route, everything like will not be going through that one. But you cannot make that okay for specific port number or specific source IP or towards the specific destination IP. This packet should be traveling and another should not be traveling. We do not have any security restriction on the router and switches. Now people will say, no, we have our ACL, right? We have ACL on the routers or we don't have? Anybody knows about the ACL? Yes? No?
We have.
We have it, right? So we have our ACL. ACL is known as our access control list. Yeah, there's no default. That's right. Access control list. So this has been like introduced on like the routers that we have access control list, and has little bit restriction, but I should say this is type of a security feature that has been implemented on the router. That's not like core function of the router. Core function of the router is to do the routings. Whatever the packet is coming, look up the routing table and forward that packet. But like there was a requirement, then we took some security features and inbuilt it, right? You might be knowing that IPsec tunnels are also being configured on the routers, but this also like type of security feature that has been implemented on the routers. So if you like implement uh, all the features, if you implement all the security features, NAT and everything, your like router is will be fired up, right? It will like use load on your router completely, high resource utilization. So what we decided that let the router do its core function of the routing, and the security part we will take care in the separate device. So then we introduced our firewall. That okay, let our firewall do its core function. So whatever it was doing on the like ACL part, access control list, if you remember the syntax little bit, it has the concept of blocking the source IP, source port, destination IP, destination port, right? So these same thing can be also implemented on the firewall. Like we have,
Protocol. Protocol.
so people, if you're not speaking, just refer to be on mute. And if we implement all these things, if you remember or just consider whatever the things we are having the port numbers. Port number is which layer feature? Port number on which, like if you OSI layer, if you take it, on which layer it is, the port number?
Transport.
Transport layer 4. That's right. I see some of the messages, layer 4. So that's on the layer 4. So we can say that it is a, or just like layer 4 feature. Correct? So now whenever we move from this, like firewall can control traffic up to layer 4, but as our device is completely focused on the security part, we also enhanced a little bit. And it is not only controlling its layer 4, it means that you have, okay, let me take a different color. White is fine. So if I take like different features, then it like took the enhanced feature. If you see here, whenever our firewall was controlling traffic up to layer 4, we call them as a legacy firewall. And nowadays, our firewall is capable of controlling or inspect our traffic up to the application layer. Up to L7. That's right. So why sometimes I do not say layer 7 because people like sometimes use our OSI model and sometimes they use that at a TCP model, TCP IP model, right? So rather than we will say like as a application layer because application is on both of them. So we will talk about our application layer. That next generation firewall, whatever the firewall is capable of controlling or inspecting the traffic up to the application layer, we call them as a next generation firewall. Whenever, like, oh no, I just was quite a beginner in the my uh, career, and I think I was giving my first or second interview in the security. The first question was asked by the interviewer: "What is the difference between the legacy firewall and the next generation firewall?" I think second or third question. Like we did some warm up, and then the next question was, "What is the difference between the legacy firewall and next generation firewall?" So now I think you are confident enough that you can answer that question. That what is the difference between legacy firewall and next generation firewall if it is being asked in interviews, right? Confident, right? Or you have some questions? Yes. Okay. I see very less. Yes, people are listening, right? Or you just joined and not. Please repeat. Okay. Cool. So, uh, some people are having like questions on that legacy firewall and next generation firewall. So let me quickly repeat it. I will not take much time. So any firewall, like whatever, like we discussed about the legacy firewall and the next generation firewall. And legacy firewalls is usually having control up to layer 4, or you can say the transport layer. And they cannot inspect or traffic inside the application layer. They cannot read basically. So if they cannot read, they cannot control it. I will just explain you that why it is required. Okay. So here we have the control up to application layer. Now question comes at why basically we need that, right? So I was happy, I was quite happy that I was able to block my source IP. I was quite happy that I blocked the destination port. Somebody asked me that please block SSH. I blocked port 22. I blocked it. I was quite happy that why we need the next generation firewall. Requirement came that whenever somebody says that please block facebook.com, people are watching so much on the Facebook, right? So can you block facebook.com from here on the legacy firewalls? Yeah, it's like very tough. You cannot. I would say like it's not possible. I would not say that, but like yeah, but it's really difficult if you want to block any specific website, and it's like becomes really challenging whenever it comes to block wildcard. Like for example, uh, you want to block star.microsoft.com. Not block, in fact, let's suppose allow as well, right? So the main thing is like wildcard. Wildcard is not at all possible in the legacy. So that's why we need the next generation firewall, that we have a control for the web filtering. The web filtering option is available. And now, if you have like capability to inspect your traffic up to the application layer, why can't we detect malware? Yeah, web filtering is same as like our URL filtering. So detect malware, right? So detect malware means antivirus feature, because now my firewall is able to check that traffic. So that's also possible. If you want to block any specific file type, you want to block .exe, you want to block .bat file. These are the very dangerous file. You know, even if you try to attach in the Gmail, you cannot attach that .exe file. If you have not tried, you can try sending an uh, .exe file in your Gmail and try to send someone. It will just simply say that you cannot attach it, or it will not allow you to attach that .exe file, because there are like certain codes and hex code available. Anybody can like install any of the file to the different person. So that's security things that we do not, any enterprise, even like Gmail, or it's like Gmail is like quite popular one, but even like enterprise network, we do not allow the .exe, .bat or .binary file. We block it. So a specific file type you want to block it, that's also only available in the firewalls next generation, like which are having the capability up to the application layer. Correct. So that's why like there's difference between the legacy firewall and next generation firewall. Another feature like which is making a difference, that is our session oriented and sessionless. If I Pick the pink color. I'm not sure it's, let me know if it is not visible, okay? So legacy firewalls are like sessionless.
You can use different color. It's not much visible.
Okay. So I will go back. Yellow is clear, okay? This should be fine, right? And I was discussing about the sessionless and session oriented. So see, this is sessionless. Our legacy firewalls are usually sessionless, and this is session oriented. Now, question comes in mind that what is the difference between this sessionless and session oriented, right? So let's clear this one and just focus on this sessionless and session oriented. So first, I will just talk about the session oriented, okay? So for example, you have a firewall. And here, let's suppose you connected a host, and somewhere in the internet, you have a Google server. Any server you can say, but let's, for example, we take it about the Google server. And now, whenever you try to reach this, either you ping it, you try to browse it. Let's suppose you try to download a file from here. Okay. So it's like you are initiating the connection, right? This is my machine, and I'm the initiator. So the source IP will be from here, it will be the source, and this will be the destination. Any packet which is being sent from the source to the destination, that will be allowed, right? In our firewall, because we allowed it, okay, that from this machine, this is my internal trust, okay, source, and from source to destination, that traffic is allowed. Now, once the request reached to the Google server, and it was a FTP server, it started sending you the file. What about the reverse traffic? I haven't set up a policy or rule to permit the reverse one. I haven't done that one, right? But it's still that traffic will be allowed to come back to my like cross through my firewall. Why? Because it is a response for the request what I initiated. We can just correlate with like simple thing. For example, this is your home, right? And somebody unknown, if like somebody from your home, like your family member has gone out, right? And now if they are returning back, you will allow them, right? Because you are in this is your home family member, and you uh, expect that they will return back. This is quite uh, common that okay, that he has to come back, and this is intended thing. But if any unusual person, unknown person that comes from outside, any stranger tries to enter your home, then obviously you will not permit that person. You say that, hey, you are a stranger, who are you? I cannot permit you. Why you are coming back? The same thing is happening, that any packet which was gone from here and the response is coming for that, that will be allowed to cross through. But if anything requested from directly from outside, from here, okay, this should not be the visible. Okay, let me take the same color. If any unintended person or anything initiated from here, this is the initiator from the internet, and they are coming to my machine through the firewall, my firewall will block it. That will not allow it. So this concept that how the firewall will track it. Basically, that somebody has gone out and the return packet is coming, or it is a beginner or any stranger is coming back to me. How the firewall will come to know. So what is happening that these firewalls, whenever any request is initiated from this machine, it's going out, it installs the session. That's right. Yeah. We call it as a stateful or stateless. Okay. So whenever any request goes, it installs a session on the firewall. To install the session on the firewall, it means that it has some information that, okay, somebody has gone out and I'm waiting that is that response coming back or not. So now if the return traffic is coming, we'll check its session table that, okay, there is already session installed on my firewall. It means that this is the return packet, and then I will allow that one, right? So this is called as a stateful, that we have a state available of that session, and then I allowed it. So this is also called as session oriented, right? We have our session available, and based on that session, it is coming back. Next thing, what we have is our sessionless, or we can say the stateless, right? So in the stateless, what is happening? Let's suppose this is your firewall, and now if you have a machine here, you have a server here, your traffic gone through from here to there, and for the return traffic, like here you created a new policy to allow from, you can say, the internal network to external, right? Internal to external. And if you want to get the reply back, you have also to create a policy for the return traffic from outside to inside, because this is stateless. It doesn't have any state information. So for both the ways, you have to create a communication that, okay, you have to permit both the ways. Our Cisco ASA is in that way. It has like stateless type of things. You have to create to and fro the policies. But our these next generation firewalls, they are like our FortiGate firewall. That is our stateful firewall, and it have that session information. You don't have to create the return policy, and the traffic will come back to us automatically once it has gone out. Any questions till now? I will take one or two. Sorry. No questions. Okay.
So Cisco ASA is just stateless firewall or stateful firewall?
Stateless. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's like our routers. So we do power, like we do the routings, right? So we create a route for the forward traffic, then also we define for the reverse traffic the same way.
Is it connection table recall?
Connection table, I will not say, I will say the session table.
But what is command to
Check the session table?
Yeah.
You can directly check on the GUI. There's option available. I will just show you. Like I will show the labs, you can see there.
Okay.
So after completing this course, we can get that certificate or simply?
Yeah, that one these type of questions we will cover it up at the end. So just be with us. Like all these course related questions, any technical questions you can ask. Otherwise, like I think we don't have any questions much. So let's move further. Let's have to look on our
Sir,
lab.
hello.
Yep.
Oh, so what about Palo Alto and Checkpoint? Are they stateful or stateless?
They are stateful, like they have session table in self and they allow the return traffic by themselves.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello.
I have one doubt.
Mhm.
Many people are asking the internet.
You are way hard to hear actually.
Hello, is it clear
You
now?
are hard to
Hello?
hear. No, you just type on the chat your question. That will be good. It's just really hard to hear you.
Sir, one question. Next generation firewall, does it have this IPS and IDS included in this? Is it something of that sort?
Most of the firewalls included, like they have the engines, IPS and IDS engines, and they support that feature.
So whereas in the legacy firewall, IPS and IDS do not have, right?
Yeah, they are like separate hardware or separate modules, not included in that firewall.
So that could also be one of the differences between.
I will
like-
not say that is basically the you can consider, because like let's suppose it is having an antivirus feature, right? So but that our legacy firewalls doesn't have that one. So
That's
once
right.
like you have a capability to get the application layer traffic, you have like more control. You can like if I want to add additional feature in that firewall, I can add it because I have a capability to read that traffic. And legacy firewall don't have that feature. So even if you want to add, like you need to add like complete everything, and then you have to deploy that. Like going to be very tough in the legacy ones.
So the major difference is that the traffic can be inspected up to the transport layer in case of
To the application, yeah, that's right. And the
in
transport layer up
case
to the
of
legacy one.
legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in case of next generation, it can be inspected up to the application layer. This is what is the major difference.
Correct. Yeah, that's the basic difference, and that's make them separate.
Yeah, and sir, one final question about stateless and stateful.
Mhm.
How can we see the if you're talking about stateless,
Mhm.
the traffic is two-way, right?
Yeah, two-way. Yeah.
And in
Like
stateful, the traffic is
traffic is always will be in the two-way. Like whenever, let's suppose you are accessing facebook.com. So first you requested to the facebook.com, and then page has to be loaded. So the always communication is two ways. But in the session less, you have to allow the communication to and fro. Like you have to create two policies to forward, like from inside to outside, and then again from outside to inside. In the session,
in the stateless.
In the stateless, right? Yeah. And in
Okay,
case of
and in
stateful, you have one way. Like you create one policy to go out, return traffic will be automatically allowed. No need to create a separate policy for that.
Hi, sir.
That's a next generation.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, next generation.
Okay.
That's not next generation. Basically, I will say the session oriented,
Hi, sir.
or you can say stateful. Yeah, hi.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, please.
Yes, so sorry for joining late because the
No worries.
internet is not working in Egypt.
Any question?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I'm joining late because the internet is very slow. Can you please give me some brief about the session?
I think it will be not good for all the participants
I'm
who have
so
already
sorry.
gone
I'm
through.
so sorry, sir.
No worries. I think you
I'm
have
so
the
sorry.
recordings available. You can like go through those. That will be good. Basically, like I have covered, if I talk about the brief, some basic introduction, like how the firewalls like comes from the separate, like our switch has our L2 feature, our router have L3 feature, and in the firewalls we have the security controls, and it can block the traffic between like source and destination IPs. Yep.
Can you give me some brief about the stateful and stateless firewall, please? So I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I think it's better. You can like go through the recordings, because otherwise it's like very bad, because people are like from the starting, and if I repeat that one, like going to be very tough, right? So I think you will
Okay.
get these recordings. You can go through whenever you are free.
Okay.
Hello, sir. I
Yeah.
have a question.
Yeah, please.
So if
Hello.
Yeah, one by one, please.
Yeah.
sir, if the next generation firewalls have many benefits, why are we still using this legacy firewalls like Cisco ASA?
Good question. So, for example, you have you started thinking of about the security before 10 years when next generation firewall was not introduced, right? You have deployed everywhere this ASA because you are quite security conscious that no, nobody should hack it. Now you have like a 500 Cisco ASA, and then you are thinking that why should I buy a completely new firewall, right? You're just like
Okay.
still using that one. Another way, like in some cases, people are like uh, taking another vendor for is these type of like antivirus features and other like IPS and IDS. They are taking the separate modules, and they just need only up to the like source and IP based blocking. Then they all still buy that one. That okay, I will use that one, and for the other purpose I use the separate devices or separate. I will go to the different vendor. And some people say that okay, why to go to different vendors if the FortiGate is providing everything. I will stick to the FortiGate and I will do everything with the FortiGate, right? So that's like thinking.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Okay. Hello. So
Yep.
this question, you will be taking only the FortiGate firewall, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just I have general question like, okay, since we have next generation firewall, we have Palo Alto, Checkpoint, and FortiGate, and like there are many vendors also. So any difference you can say like this, for example, since you are working like choose the firewall from the customer perspective. Okay. So how to because like next generation firewall will have all the features are similar, correct? Like it will be your filtering.
Okay, so it's like a little bit hard to hear you, but I just as I get your question, you're saying that like most of these next gen firewall like Palo Alto, Checkpoint, or FortiGate, they're like similar. Then what's the difference? That's what I'm asking, right? What is the difference between all of these?
Like for example, I wanted to suggest for the customer asks, okay, I want I'm getting the I need to suggest actually. So which firewall is good actually? It maybe the cost wise I can go, but apart from the cost wise, if I want to initially like Palo Alto is a market leader. That is what I feel. Cisco FTD is there,
I will not say
it might
that
be
the
may
Palo
come
Alto is
to
the only market leader. Uh, because if you go about the Gartner like report, because that's what like because it's my perspective.
yes.
If I have deployed, it's my enterprise and I have deployed everywhere. Palo Alto, I will say that Palo Alto is very good. If it's my organization, I have deployed everywhere Cisco ASA, and I'm very happy with the Cisco ASA. I will say my Cisco ASA is best. If I have everything on a FortiGate, I will say no, FortiGate is best. So that's like perspective. So if we want to get the global perspective, we always rely on the like research what third party are providing. So based on that one, we see that all three like we see the Checkpoint, Palo Alto, and the FortiGate are in the market leader sections. And anyhow, like cost and features perspective, they are almost similar. So I will say that Checkpoint is little bit lagging because of its slow GUI response. And but in the FortiGate and Palo Alto are like in this competition. I would not say that anyone is falling behind. So they're like everybody is introducing the new product, not only the firewalls, like it's about the company, right? If you about the Palo Alto network, they keep on adding new products like in Cortex, they are providing this Prisma they have provided. Same way our Fortinet like providing. Keep on introducing new products, and
But
those
is
are
there any
included in
unique
our
difference
firewall.
between each product actually, unique difference? Like the Palo Alto FortiGate, unique difference. When
Okay,
choosing
I
the
think
product,
this question is like quite, I will say the comprehensive. So we can discuss this one, I think, later on. Because this is like it will stretch and spend a lot of personal time. So I will just take that later. You can stay at the end. We will discuss. Have more time. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Can you ask my question, please?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. About the Palo Alto and FortiGate, the FortiGate, everything in the FortiGate it's very simple. But in the Palo Alto, for example, if you need to create a VPN in Palo Alto, we go to a lot of steps.
Okay.
Sir, I think
Yeah.
you can continue the class. Let's continue.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead. I think somebody just if okay, so who is not speaking, just be on mute. Okay, that's good. And let's go ahead. And if I talk about our lab section, okay, so this will be our lab policy, like we will be practicing here. So if you see the lab, we have like a comprehensive like network diagram, which is like similar to the production environment. And it's like you can practice almost like every scenario, whatever could be possible in the production environment. So I have like team has tried to uh, replicate like similar to our production environment, so that whenever like after this one, if you even if you are a beginner and you are going to the production and you're seeing the policies, you do not feel like, okay, I'm quite new. You will be like after learning this one, you will be like 60 to 70%, you will feel like, okay, I'm confident and I know that what to do. Okay. So in this lab architecture, what I have taken it here, like different machines from here, right, at the bottom. And if I what today's session target will be, we have an internet here, okay, and I will take any of the machines from here, let's say this one, and this is the firewall which will be blocking the communication from here, right? So our target will be to make the communication from here to here. Okay, so if we talk about our like normal FortiGate firewall has a default policy. Okay, and it says that, okay, nothing is allowed to pass through my firewall. Any traffic coming to here wants to go anywhere, I will drop it until we have not created the policy. Okay, so if there is a policy, then only it will be allowed. If you don't have the policy, by default, it has nothing to allow. So let me start the devices, and then we will see that what are the default policies and all is available there. Okay, so let me start these devices one by one. And I hope you are good at the EVNG setup, or you can say the lab setup. If not, just what you have to do, you have to just like right click, right? And just start these devices. You will start these devices, and then you can double click and you will get the console. Okay, so I think I have to log out and log in again, or let me try to check it if it's okay, it is working fine. So the default password I have put it as like admin and admin123, where A is the cap. If it's not, it's asking for you, you can ask. Otherwise, I think it should be like a new configuration for you. You have to set it by yourself. So if you are logging in the first time, the default password and use like basically you can say the username password. It will be username will be admin. And there's no password. Okay, so it's like blank. You just hit enter. That's it. Okay. So then after that one, it will ask you to set the password. So you need to set the password. You can like the process and don't make the simple password. It will not take that one. Like if you take your name or regular, so it should be the combination of alphanumeric. So that's like I have logged on my firewall, and let me start these devices as well. So
Okay,
if
sir.
I
About this switch, is it working at the layer 2 only?
This, yeah, currently is layer 2.
The app switch is working in layer 3.
It can, but right now it's working as the symbol. If you say that, that's like a layer 2 and layer 3, but currently it's working as a layer 2.
Okay.
So if I check my management IP right now about my lab setup, okay, so I will check show system interface. So my port 1 is connected to the administrator. So I will just check that what is the IP configured there. So IP is there 172.16.24.189. And what are the access available? We can ping, we can HTTPS, we can SSH, we can do HTTP, and this is for the port manager. Okay, so these are the accesses are allowed through that port. So what I'm going to do, I will use this IP and I will access the GUI of the firewall. Okay, so I will use 172.16.24.187. Same credentials. So it is asking to specify the host name, change the password and all. I'll do it later. Let me zoom it a little bit if it's not visible clearly for you.
Sir, so coming to the FortiGate, we don't have any management dedicated port, or can we use data port as a management?
Port 1 is usually its default management port. We have the console as well, but this is like usually for the port 1, if you see, that is treated as a management port.
Okay, management.
Hardware devices.
But that is the data port, right?
Port 1.
This is a
You can-
virtual FortiGate.
Yep. This is a VM series. Yeah, you see the name
Yeah.
here. So let's explore this one option. So I will just explain all of these one by one. Okay. So let me take the blue color. So who are like seeing it the first time. So that's how like GUI looks like for the firewall, FortiGate firewall. So here you can see the widgets option. So very first thing is our system information, right? So host name, it's saying the FortiGate VM64 KVM. So we usually what we do, let's suppose it is deployed in your production environment. We say like location wise, like let's suppose it's in India, you like get India, and then if it is like FortiGate, so we get like FortiGate FW. Sometimes we also have that serial number, okay, like 22 or something, right? So that's how like host name is uh, drafted. So it is like your company policy, that nomenclature of your organization, that how they want to take it. So based on that one, these are like standard procedures. Whenever you're deploying for your firewall first time, you change them, right? You put the same name so that you just log into your firewall, you know that, okay, it will be deployed in that location or in that area, or what is your serial number, right? It is easy for you to identify. If all the firewalls having like same 48 VM64 KM, you don't know that where it could be, right? Next thing is you can see its serial number. What is its serial number? You can say its firmware version, right? So this firmware is basically, we call say the 40 OS. You can say the OS version. In the Palo Alto, we call it as like PAN OS. In Cisco, we have like iOS, right? So same way we are having this firmware version 7.0.0 currently we are using. Is configured on the NAT mode. And if you see about the system time, so this is the time it is having on the system. And what is its uptime, that from how much time it's being up. So you see that we have this recently started it. So it's 6 minutes. You can see that licenses, that what are the license available currently. So we don't see any of them now as of now. And also like it's not able to connect to the it's going to our FortiGate servers. You can check our different security fabric, that how you want to connect them. Okay. So currently it's like FortiGate cloud. So sometimes for like FortiGate cloud connectivity is required for the updates perspective, like what are the applications or the, like for example, your URLs are getting malicious, right? Any new website came, it was clean, and next day, because of its malicious nature, it got uh, converted into the malicious one. And if you don't have the update on your firewall, it will be very hard to block that malicious URL. So we just get in contact, update with the FortiGate Cloud, and we just get the updates, whatever the different behaviors are available in the FortiCloud. And here you can see the CPUs, that how much allocated CPUs we are having, like 100%, how much RAM it is allocated. Okay. You can also see its performance. Like if you see the CPU uses, that what is the current CPU uses and memory uses, and how many sessions are these currently running, right? So right now you see that this memory is around 50 to between 50 to 75, and we keep on monitoring these memory and CPU uses, because if you do not monitor them and do not configure the alert for these, there are chances that your firewall is highly utilized, and because of these high memory and CPU uses, your firewall gets restarted and you end up with the outage. So it is very important that you just keep on monitoring these memory and CPU uses. So you can just directly see on the dashboard, and we also keep on monitoring via the SOC or the normal or NOC, or whatever is available on the organizations. Options we are having, like dashboard, we have the network here. So in the network fields, we have like interfaces, right? So whatever the interfaces are available, what is being configured, you can view it here. We have a configured options of like DNS, packet capture, SD-WAN, static routes, policy routes, RIP. So all these features, you see that these are all are supported in our network perspective. So this is a firewall, but it is also having all the features of our routers. It can use a RIP. The BGP can be configured, or if you want to go for the OSPF, those are also available. But if you want to configure the static routes, that can also be done. So you see that all the features of the routers are also available. Next feature option is our policy and objects. Here we have like firewall policies, right? So these are the normal policies we are configuring, and that's what I was talking about, the implicit deny policy. So I will come back to this after exploring all these options. So here we have like addresses, and that we can create an object type of things. Services, that what are the port numbers that you want to create the services. Virtual IPs we create, right? So these are options are available. So we'll be exploring like in the, we have like internet both for these ones. We will be covering up these, all of them. We have our security profiles, like these features: antivirus, web filter, video filter, DNS filter, application control. All these options are available. You can configure these, and accordingly you can use them. User authentication. So these are like
is same as App ID in Palo Alto CISCO, is it?
correct. Yeah, it's like same as application control, whatever you're having here in the security profile. App ID, yeah, same way.
Okay.
We have like some system features, like HA you want to configure, you want to upgrade the firmware, or you want to see what is there. You want to get in touch with the FortiGuard. Okay, so these options are available. And then we also have the log and report. So we see that whatever the traffic is passing through, we want to sniff for the traffic. We want to see some antivirus features or antivirus logs or web filter logs, right? So these all the things are available. All type of log separately you can view it according to your requirement. Back to our focus. Our focus was to check on our default policy. So default policy we are having about our implicit deny. So if you see carefully, the policy says that all source, like from all source to all destination, all type service, the default action is denied. It does not allow anything. So if I focus here, right? If I open this machine at the bottom, right? This user, it is basically a VPC. So I have to configure the IP address, right? So I will configure the IP, like syntax is like this. You can put IP and it will give the syntax that how you configure the IP address. Okay. So that's how we configure it. This is the syntax for the defining the IP address. So that's how I will do it. IP, and I will use the same IP, whatever I have defined on my lab. 10, 37, 10, 10. And subnet will be /24. Default gateway, I'll be configuring the .1. So it's not available, but this is configured on this port 3, which is of the firewall. So that will be the default gateway. So 10, 37, 10.1. So it is checking its duplicate address. That's configured. So if I say the show IP, now my IP is configured. So my IP address is 10.37.10.10 and gateway is 10.37.10.1. If I try to ping my internet, right? We have an internet here. So what should be, anyone knows about the Google DNS? What is the Google DNS? Write in the chat if anyone knows. I tried to ping.
8.8.8.8.
Oh, cool. So you spoke, I see it too in the chats. That's good. So I try to ping the Google DNS. So that's how basically we do whenever we want to check the connectivity to the internet. We usually like this. This is not the only way, but it's like intention of the person. So we try to do that one to check the connectivity, whether we have the connectivity to the internet or not. So if I ping 8.8.8, it is saying the just timed out. Everyone knows that why it is getting timed out.
Due to
I have all the
default route, I
connectivity.
guess.
It has all the connectivity, right?
It should be translated, right? We're accessing from the private.
Accessing from the private. Okay.
Before
Obviously.
translating, we should check the policy. The policy should
Yep.
be allowed.
So the very first thing I just said that it is because of our implicit deny.
Yep.
That's the very first thing. We saw the policy and it said that implicit deny from any source to any destination. I will not allow. I'm the firewall. I'm FortiGate firewall, and I will not allow you to pass through. Okay, so let's allow that. Right, we are the firewall admin, and I will create a policy. Okay, let's create a new policy. So, what the name should I give it?
Can we create a policy in the command prompt?
We can. Not today.
Okay.
I like GUI much, so I will go with the GUI.
Because the most of the interviewers, they always try to ask us on the command prompt.
It will be mostly the requirements, not people prefer, because this is not the router. And like FortiGate has provided a very good GUI, prompt response, very good GUI. So I don't think that people should go. But yeah, because of some security restrictions, some organization do that one. So it could be organization to organization. But today we will just focus on the GUI. So what the name I should give?
ICMP.
ICMP. Allow ICMP?
Yeah, allow ICMP.
Okay. Next option, it is asking the incoming interface, that from which interface the traffic will be coming. So let's check it out, from where it will be coming. From which interface it will be coming, port 2 or port 3?
It's on port 3, ingress.
Port 2.
Not port 3. It's coming from the 2 port, because the 2 port, I think the tracking port between the switch and route and the firewall.
Yeah, we have 2 ports, right? Port 2 and port 3. Both of them. So from where it is coming? From where it is coming?
This port channel or the 2 ports?
Yeah, good question. That we should know the configuration that it is a port configure. They're just directly connected. So let's go to just cancel this and or just open in the new if I can. Let me open that.
duplicate tab يعني faster.
Yeah, that's the way. And if I go to network, oh sorry, not this one.
No,
This
and
network.
not network and interfaces.
Yeah. So if I go to network interfaces and I see the port 2 configured. Port channel configured, not configured. We have just port 2 configured. Port 3 is just a blank. Nothing configured on
Sir,
port 3.
one doubt I have here. Why are you showing us internal here? Internal port?
I have configured it. Like I give name I have given it.
Okay.
So this configuration I have already done it. So that's why it is showing this IP address 10.37.10.1.
Mhm.
So, but it has like port 2 configured, right? So I just came back and because let's suppose you joined an organization and somebody has already put some configuration. So you check that, okay, port 2 is configured. So you came back to that policy where you're configuring. So incoming interface will be our port 2. So now you see that, okay, port 3 is not configured. My traffic will be going through only port 2.
Mhm.
Clear?
Got it.
So now incoming interface was port 2. Now about the outgoing interface. What should be our outgoing interface from here? I want to go to the internet. You see
Port
it, right?
5.
Port 5, yeah. Cool. So I will select here port 5. Source. What should be the source IP?
The internal IPs.
The
Internal
subnet.
IPs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So from where you are requesting 1037, 1010, right? That should be the source IP.
You can allow it one by one, or you can allow the VLAN or subnet.
As of now, I'm going to allow all.
Okay.
Cool. Because this is just
Okay.
test. So as of now, I'm just putting it from any source, just allow it. And toward, obviously this is for the internet. So I will not restrict the destination. It has to be all.
All, because of the internet.
Yeah, because this is the internet. So you can access any of the website in the destination. Internet cannot be restricted. And services, I can put on the all
ICMP.
All ICMP. Okay. So whatever the ICMP time, I put the service as all ICMP. Next thing, like action, I can say deny. If I see the deny, you see that the bottom options are gone. I don't see any options below. But obviously, I don't want to allow it, right? So I will click accept. And NAT, obviously, like somebody was saying about the NAT, that if it's a private IP, it has to go to the public, right? So we need an NAT. So I enable NAT, and whenever it is going out, please use outgoing interface address. So if like it is going out from here, so it will pick up port 5 IP address and then it will go out. So we'll focus more on the NAT because this is not about the session about the NAT. So just like, so obviously the NAT will be required and we will use this configuration that use outgoing interface address to go out. Okay.
Okay, I have some question here. And how can I the source define the outgoing interface in the net? We have two interfaces.
From here?
No, from the topology. Can you back to topology?
Yep.
Okay. The source 1037 1010. Okay. The ingress interface port 3. Now the egress interface, we have two ports. We have two ports, port 5 and port 4. Okay, you already how the net defined the outgoing interface port 5. Because
yeah, I know that internet connected. Yeah.
Okay, the source PC, how it can define the outgoing interface in the net. We have in the real case, we define the net in the next hop IP or the exit interface. Now we have two exit interface.
So whenever, like, if you want to don't want to use that outgoing interface, you can use different options like use dynamic IP pool.
Yeah,
so,
my point is, if we allow the net and point use outgoing interface. That means the outgoing interface, the up in the policy that I need to request remote session, please. Okay, if we go to the net enable, use outgoing interface. Okay, I need the outgoing interface that we defined in the previous policy.
I think I'm not clear about your. No, not clear. Okay, let's park your question. We will come back at the end. Is that fine?
Can you give me the control, please? Can you give me control, please? 1 second.
I think it will be disturb our flow. So let's park this question out for some time. We will come back to you. Is that fine? Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
Otherwise, we'll like break the flow. So, yep.
There is some doubt. And what is the difference between deny, drop, reject, and alert action?
We will like we will have like upcoming detailed session on those.
And also there is the inspection mode, proxy, and flow base. What is the difference?
Yes, these are like we will cover up everything here. This is like simple policy where configure. There's a lot of things like here. Even like if I go on the top, right at the top, if I see it here, like there are a lot of options. I have to explain all of them in the detail. So in the upcoming sessions, I will be okay.
As of now, I guess we are just enabling the internet, right?
Yeah, we're just interested to ping the destination. That's so focused. So that's why a lot of concepts are involved. If you see here, accessing the internet is not an easy task. You cannot like simply so you cannot simply because you have to use all the concepts of the routing, netting, and also that's why everything is included. Everything is included there. Okay, it has been timed out. I think I have to configure once again. So no interruption now. We will quickly configure the policy. Okay, otherwise we'll miss our fun. Port 5. So all destination all. Obviously, like whenever you have like good learning, you have a lot of questions and you have an ease to learn. So that's like good spirit, but you have to be a little patient because it's like slow and you have to learn slowly. Okay, so we enable the NAT and use outgoing interface and flow based. Okay, that's fine. And log sessions, I will just allow all the sessions as of now. Okay, so we usually don't do that one, but like it's just like totally interest because if you log all the sessions, but logs will be a little bit more. Okay, so I just click OK, and that's how I have created a policy. So I have created a policy like allow ICMP, source all, destination all, and it has like allow all ICMP. Cool. So what do you say now? Will it ping will be working?
Sir, I have a question, if you don't mind. Sir, just now we defined one policy that is security policy or NAT policy, or it's combination of both?
It's combination of both. You might have come from the Palo Alto firewall where we have the two separate ways to configure that one. But in FortiGate, we have like,
yeah, please go ahead, sir.
So in the here in the like FortiGate, we have like same GUI, like same page, we configure both of them. So this is like security policy and same page, we have enabled the NAT. If you go in the Palo Alto, we have like separate policies. We have like security policies, we create for the security policy. In the next section, we go for the NAT policy. Two ways, two policies you have to create. So here we
yes sir. In Palo Alto we have a separate section for the NAT policy. So in that we are defining the original packet and the translated packet.
Then I got it. I got your question that you're relating from the Palo Alto.
No, sir. Actually, coming to this policy, this policy, but how the source interface they came to know. So I should go to the port number 5. Then only my packet going to be translated to reach the world, outside world. How the source packet they came to know. Simply we are
whatever packet is leaving that port 5, it will pick up the source IP as a port 5 interface, and then it will go out. Whatever it is getting out, either it is from this or from anywhere it is coming. If it is leaving port 5, it will change its source IP with the port 5 IP and then go out.
Because you are already defined that in the policy.
Correct. Because what I say that whenever you're leaving, use outgoing interface address. Okay. So if I try to ping now, what you say, that ping will be working or will the same?
The PC is able
No,
to ping the gateway,
I think
right?
not working.
Not working? Why? Why you
Yes.
say why so negative?
Because you
I'm
don't
positive.
have a static route.
Ah, okay. So is it required in this case or it's not required?
I think it is required.
It's required.
Yeah, default route is required.
Because the sequence is the routing, so and the policy, and then the net. I think it is a sequence in the FortiGate sequence. Routing before routing and policy and net.
Sir, can our PC reach to the firewall interface?
I think it's like it's not required in this case.
It's not required.
No, not in this case.
See, what
but
I mean
if
that,
you go
like,
about the if you, I think let's use the chat section. That will be really easy because like a lot of people are speaking all together. So I'll be picking it one by one. So it will be like a smoother way. Otherwise, or just speak one by one. Anyways, is preferred. Okay. So let me just hit the ping, and it is working.
Yeah, but the static route is not required in this case.
Not required in this case. But if you go the production environment, yes, we configure the default route and targeting our to the next ISP IP address.
Okay, what's the difference between
Yeah, this is because of our lab topology, and it is connected directly. That's why it is going out.
Once we connect to the real internet, so automatically default route will inject. Okay.
Injected, yes, that's right.
In the real case, we need to define a static route.
We do both the ways. Like if it is advertised from like BGP and created a static route, or anyways, it has to be static route. Either it is created by default or you configure by yourself. But static route should be there. Then only the traffic can go out to the ISP.
Okay, I need to know what is the route in this FortiGate. What's the how would my device go to the internet? Which route?
From here?
Yes, from here.
Okay, so for this one,
my device 10.10. Okay, if you go to the coming from port 3 and out the port 5, the port 5 connected to the internet or the port this device.
Actually, let me tell you, this port 5 is basically not a public IP. Very first thing. Okay, not a public IP. Very first thing. Okay, what it is basically my private IP, my lab private IP. Okay, and that is further connected to my internet. Okay, and then it is going to out. So in this, if you see the port 5 IP address, that is basically a private IP address. But it has to go out. It has to be, this packet has to be transmitted to this. Then only it can go to the internet. But in the real scenario, in the production environment, if you see, if you have any firewall, it is usually directly your ISP will be terminated to your firewall, or it could be a router, and where your ISP network is terminated there. Okay. In that case, what you do, you configure a static route here, or default route, and then you point all your traffic towards your ISP here, and then it is going out. Either you do NAT, some of the enterprise do NAT here on the firewall, some prefer to do on the router. Whatever is your option, whatever you want to do. That NAT has to be there to the public IP, then only you can access the internet.
Okay.
Clear?
Clear.
Cool. All right. So I think I will stop here. Sajid or anyone from the networks only want to take it over from here? Or like people, anyone have the questions? Let's take, or let's Sajid finish you, then we will take the question at the end.
Sir,
Okay, I have
sir,
a question, please.
Mm,
I have a question.
yep, please.
Okay, not a technical question. This recording, are you going to share it after the training?
Sorry, yeah, what question you have?
Did you hear what I said? I said, will you share this recording after the training?
Yeah, it's available on the YouTube channel. You can go through that one. If you don't have, we'll share the link with you.
Okay. I don't have the YouTube channel. You can help me with the link. Maybe on the chat box. Thanks.
Okay, cool. So we will be continue this session tomorrow as well. Like this session will be continued, so you may join tomorrow as well. We will continue further on this.
What is the duration of this training, sir?
Thank you.
Duration will be around 2 to 2.5 months. I think, yeah. So I think.
So only 2 to 5 months. It's only for FortiGate firewalls, right?
Yep.
And what is the daily? Is it a daily training or it is a weekly twice? How is it?
It should be weekly. I think. Anyone from networks only? That how we are planning? Sasit or someone?
Yeah, you can complete your Q&A. I'll be there to explain all the details regarding.
Okay, so I think
rules
let's
and all
focus on the
access.
technical questions if you have any, and then Sajid will cover up then these
Yeah,
like
I
course
have
related
one
questions.
question.
Okay, yeah, please.
See, like I don't understand. My traffic is coming to the firewall, right? FortiGate firewall. So, once the traffic is coming to the FortiGate firewall should have the route to forward this traffic further Google DNS, right?
Yep.
So, do we have installed the static route here or what?
This is because like we have like direct connectivity to that, because I said that this is a my private IP address, right? It's not actually the public IP. So we have like direct connectivity. That's why has gone to that one. But if it would have not been a direct connectivity, when we need a static route, then only the packet will be forwarded.
Okay.
Okay, and that the device working at the home router, yeah, like that.
Yeah, exactly. This one, yeah.
Where are we going to terminate the public IP address of the ISP on the FortiGate?
In the real environment, right?
Yes, in the production environment.
In the production environment, let's suppose this is your firewall. So you can take like any of the interfaces, and then you can give ISP IP address to that interface. Okay, your firewall directly. Other way, like people sometimes prefer that they have a router here. They connect the interface here. Like they don't take this solution. They connect from this firewall interface to the router, and then they terminate the ISP router here, and then they route all the traffic by this way. This is our ISP, and that's how they can go out. So both the solutions are possible, whatever organization prefer.
What is the best practice in this case?
I would say 40 to 60%. 60% people prefer like this way, and 40% have terminated on the ISP. So it's not like too much difference, 10% or 90%. So you can choose any of them. 60-40 or 50-50 is also possible.
Okay, sir. That device called the internet connected to the router. Yes.
In the lab, or you're talking about the?
Yeah, in the lab.
Okay. Yeah.
That device, the called internet. I think that.
This one, yeah. Okay.
That one connected to the router. Yes. Connected to this router.
This one, yeah. Here.
The next hop is router. Yes.
This one, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Now the traffic coming from the internal PC, coming from port 3 to port 5, then to internet. Okay. Now the internet device connected to the router, and the traffic forward from the internet to the router, yes, or to the internet.
No, this is for these devices. I have not switched them on, but for example, the any traffic wants to go to the internet from this way. So internet is like vast thing, right? So the internet, people devices can go reach to the internet by this way. This is another you can say this is our DC, I think, right? Yeah, this is the DC. So from data center devices, if they want to access the internet, they can access like this. So the internet picture is like little small, but internet is like really large, right? You know it. So this is like this way, this way, this way.
Okay, sir. Okay. Can we apply this topology in our internal lab?
You will have access to this lab, and if you have like your own EVNG setup, you can deploy the same way.
Okay, well, if I have the internal EVNG lab, how I can simulate the internet?
The same way, like as I did, right? You should have an internet console connectivity. You can connect to the internet to the firewall, and you will get the internet connectivity. This is like similar to EVNG. That's nothing like new here.
Sir, anyway, we are using VM, right? So, sir, it's not a license based. So, in Palo Alto, like it's not supporting for URL filtering, content ID, and GP global pattern. So, similar do we have any features which is not supported in the FortiGate? We are using for VM, right, sir? So that is the reason.
Yeah, VMs are available. Yeah, some of them you cannot see the controls. The configuration perspective, it will be fine. You can do all the configuration, but if the license will not be available, then for example, you don't have a license for the web filtering. Okay, so you can do all the configuration. You can learn everything. The only thing is that, let's suppose you are accessing Facebook, and even if you block that one, but that will still be working. That's the only difference. There's nothing, no one is stopping to do the configuration. You can learn everything.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question?
For today, no. Thank you, sir.
Okay, cool. No questions? Or only the course related questions are remaining now?
For this for today technical question, and for today, I think no question till now. About the question of the courses, but what is the next step in the course? What is the
Okay, so I think let Sajid take it over, and then we can explain. I think
just the last question I have. We don't have the security levels or the zones in FortiGate.
Security zones concept is having, it is available. If required, it's on your choice. If you want to give the name as zone, you can configure them as a zone. But if you don't need them, without zone also it can work. It's not mandatory like the Palo Alto that you have to configure the zone, then only it is going to work. You can make that your firewall work without zone as well.
Okay, what's the most secure, with zone or without zone?
It's like both the ways it's fine, because anyhow that's like interface, right? The zone is like combining of the interfaces. That's it. So both the ways, it's basically from one to another interface the traffic is flowing, and that's control we are having in both the firewalls. So there's not much difference.
There is no concept like the higher security level to lower security level traffic can go.
No,
something
no,
like that.
not like Cisco ASA.
Totally depend on the policies, right?
Exactly, yeah. But in Cisco ASA we have like internal is having like 100, and untrust is having like 0. So not like that one. We have just like one to another one. That's it.
Got it.
Cool. So let me stop sharing my screen.
Hello everyone. Sajid this side, your student relationship manager, and I'm here to give you the details regarding to the all the course and curriculums and access materials which we are going to cover, class schedules. So all the details will be given by me. So I'm here to give. So let me start with the course and schedules. Yeah.
The fee structure.
Yeah, I will be giving all the details.
Okay. Regarding the placement and
Yeah, I will give you all the details. One by one, I'll be there coming. Okay. So here we are going to cover totally 3 firewalls. Like you can say Firewall Mastery 3-in-1 combo. So here the modules will be like for Palo Alto Firewall. In Palo Alto Firewall, we are going to cover PCNSA and PCNSE. And then as of now, we are starting with the FortiGate, right? So we'll be covering NSE4. And at the end, there will be the Cisco ASA and firepower training will be there. This will be in a combo course. So usually one by one, the training will be moving forward. So
there
as
is a
of
full
now,
course. There is a full course for every firewall. Full course.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
advanced level. With advanced level and troubleshooting, command line troubleshooting. Yes.
Yes, everything will be covered. So for all 3 firewalls. Okay. So now we have started with the FortiGate firewall. Then next will be the either Palo Alto or either it will be the Cisco ASA firepower. So
Okay,
one
sir.
by one, we'll be moving ahead.
Okay, sorry for interruption. About the 3 firewalls, there's a very important firewall in the market. Now you covered everything in the firewall, even the troubleshooting with command line, with showing, with debug, or everything.
Yeah, everything will be covered. So real scenarios and hands-on training. So all the things will be given. Okay.
Okay. If I need to help us to build the lab in my lab, can you provide me the how I can build the lab?
Yeah, I'm coming on that part. The next
Okay.
slide will be for that one itself.
Okay.
So here, like one by one, we'll be covering the each firewall training. Like as I said, as of now, we are starting with the FortiGate. Then next will be the either Palo Alto or Cisco ASA FTD. Then next will be the remaining firewall. Okay, and this much we are going to cover in this 3-in-1 combo. And the class schedules will be like this will be going to be a Monday to Friday weekdays batch. So usually the timings are like from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST, 5 days in a week, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, and Saturday and Sunday will be the off. Then next class will be on next Monday. This will be a weekdays batch, and the timings are from 9 p.m. IST to 10 p.m. IST, 1 hour of session. So each day. So the course duration will be comes up for the 4 months. And usually in some case extension of the topics and all, so it may go for 4 to 4.5 months as well. Okay, this will be the class schedules and timings, and the next slide is for the course syllabus and details and enrollment access which we are going to provide you. Okay.
Sorry to disturb. I have a question. For FortiGate firewall, how much days it takes or weeks?
FortiGate firewall, it will take around some 1.5 to 2 months max it will take.
Okay, good. Thank you.
So here we are going to give you access and details like once you are going to enroll for this course, so you'll be getting the web portal access that which remains with you for lifetime access. So there you will be getting the live recordings of the training which you took from the trainer and which was conducted in the Zoom meeting. That recordings will be uploaded to our web portal from the backend. That totally you can access it from the our learning portal LMS. Okay, that will remain with you for lifetime access. Okay, and once the class is done, so the recordings will be uploaded by itself from the cloud after meantime of 1 to 2 hours. After 2 hours, whenever you want, you can go through the recordings of the session which we have completed. Okay, that will remain with you for lifetime access. Then next we'll be providing you the 24/7 backend, like 24/7 lab access for unlimited. Okay, For each firewall, you will be getting the 4 months of remote lab access that you can access it totally remotely. Whenever you want, you can access the labs. That will be for 4 months for each firewall. Okay, 24/7. There are no time limits, so that you can access it for 3 hours, 6 hours. So around the clock, you will be getting the access for your labs. Okay.
Access for all lab switching and PCs and firewalls and.
Yes. Okay. For all the labs, you'll be getting 4 months of lab. Okay, for 4 months, 24/7 round the clock. And you'll be getting the dedicated materials like workbooks, PPTs, PDFs, step-by-step lab manuals, and all the downloadable materials we will be giving you through the G drive, or accesses will be given, and you can download and you can keep it with you as well, and that will also remains with you for lifetime access. G drive access also remains with you for lifetime. Okay, and like, in case, let's say you have the good configuration of your systems, so we'll be helping out to set up a home lab. So one of our team member will connect with you, and by sharing our remote screen, so we'll help you out to set up a lab on your personal laptop. Basically, we'll be providing you the files to download from our G drive, the required files. So we'll be providing you the access. Once you just get the access, you can download and you can notify us by our support DL. So one of our team member will check the availability and they will notify you at the same time. So you can share your remote access details, and our team member will connect with you and he will do the setup on your laptop. Okay, and we'll be providing you the 24/7 backend support from our network journey team. Like let's say, if in case if you are facing any issues, any queries regarding to the course, or regarding to the portal, or regarding to the labs, while practicing you stuck in the lab, you are not able to move forward. So in like, you just need to raise a ticket on our support DL. One of our team member will connect with you and we will resolve your issues accordingly in meantime. Okay, and instantly you'll be getting the reply back with your solutions, and we will redirect you to the dedicated person who can resolve your issues. Okay, and these are all accesses which we are providing to you guys. Okay,